Hello everyone, my name's Flare Blitz and welcome back to Girls. Now if this game gets 30,000 copies sold throughout all of its websites, we'll be getting additional DLC for free on the beach. Well, here I getting off track here. Well, here I sit in my own little fortress of solitude. It's funny how isolating the cafe can be when no one else is around. Empty tables, devoid of plates and the usual chatter. The place feels dead. I arrived extra early to start setup for Nancy and Hayasaka. I want today to pass as smoothly as possible for the two girls and for myself. I got the lights on, the table's prepared, so prepped, and the oven's warming up. I can at least start baking some of the more basic desserts, so we'll have some fresh goods ready when the cafe opens. We had a good start yesterday with the split schedule. Ayase and Sana are both good, hard-working girls. They're people I can count on, and so are Nancy and Hayasaka. I believe their reaction to this change is going to be a bit more bold. Today's going to be rough, but if I can navigate through the waterways, the day, with the same diligence I did yesterday, maybe things will work out. From the kitchen, I hear the ding-a-ling of the door as it opens and closes. They're here. That must be Nancy and Hayasaka. Now the day is officially started. Putting on my best face, I grab 2 small plates of chocolate cake and walk out to greet them. Don't people say that chocolate is a girl's best friend? Hey, I'm willing to try anything once if it help. Good morning, girls. Hello, you two. What's this? You're baking? And the cafe isn't on fire? Hey! I know you're salty about me, but for goodness sakes. Hey! Give a little credit. I'm no master chef, but I can at least do this much. But the customers will complain. They want us making the food. You looking to lose us customers, Florina-san? Okay, so this isn't exactly a great start, but I can't give up now. I knew today would be a bit rougher than yesterday. After all, Ayase and Sina are sweethearts. I know they weren't happy with the change-up, but they handled themselves like pros. They helped brainstorm ideas and they offered advice. I can only hope that I'd get half the success with Nancy and Hayasaka that I saw with those two. Not at all. I was actually hoping for a couple of taste testers. Would you mind? I throw up some plastic forks and the girls' mouths drop open in shock. They look at each other and then back to me. I try to keep a smile for them, but they are not amused. We've got work to do. We don't have time to be eating cake. Our workload has doubled. Or haven't you noticed? I just wanted to... Isn't this like a waste of company resources? You cut out hours to save money, but then waste a bunch of cafe ingredients for taste testing? What's your problem? I'm doing everything I can. I'm trying to do everything I can for you girls. It's just... Things are in a bit of a flux right now. What does that mean? That things are going to get worse? No, that's not what I'm saying. Nancy glares at me, almost daring me to open my mouth. Hayasaka has her arms crossed flippantly. I expected this morning to be rough, but if things really need to get this bad, this isn't permanent. That's all I'm saying. We can play with the schedules, pay you off with other girls, or change how we alternate shifts so you can work more days some weeks. And then lose all our money the next week? Listen, the work schedule was the low-hanging fruit. Changing it gives us the fastest turnaround. Give it a chance. By paying a few less hours now and saving money on inventory and marketing long term, I'd love to bring you girls back up to full time. I know I just admitted to paying them less, but winces in both of their faces are telling. But I don't like this any more than they do. I also don't want them to think I'm betraying them. If it helps, I'll write references for anyone that needs to pick up another job because of this. I'll even meet with your employers so we can coordinate scheduling. Florina-san, this cafe is more than a job for us. I hope you know that. It's like a second home. We're family here. If this place closes down, I'm not losing my job. I'm losing my family. And nothing you say about job references will bring them back. Do you understand me? I try to find the words to answer Nancy, but none come to me. I just sit there and nod. Nancy takes a fork and scoops up a bite of the cake slice I brought out. It's not very moist. Tastes like crap, damn. Learn how to cook if you're going to be in the kitchen. With that, Nancy gets up and leaves us to go get changed. I slump back in my seat and I can't help but take a bit of her piece for myself. It's a little dry, but otherwise tastes fine to me. Ayasaka watches me for a moment before taking her fork and trying the cake. I see her chew it around, her eyes avoiding mine while she eats. After a moment, she sets the fork down and pushes the plate away. It's pretty average, like something out of a cheap box mix. Looks like my tastes in food just aren't up to the par of a cafe. But you tried, and it's edible. That's got to count for something, right? I suppose. I knew it's going to be rougher with these two, but for goodness sakes, it's not crap. It's close. But it's not that bad. Gee, thanks. Still, that's probably the closest thing to a compliment I'll get from either of them today, so I'll take that. I'll take the win. Najiki was harsh, but she wasn't wrong. Pay might not be the best, but I'm here for more than that. We all are. You got this job straight out of college. Try to be successful, right? I nod my head. Then you can't possibly understand what this place means to me, or any of the other girls. I want this place to succeed. So do I. Ayasaka gets up and leaves to get changed and ready to open, although there was a bit of a bug there where the both of them was within their maid clothing and not their casual ones. Yeah, I knew everything's not going to be smooth sailing, but for goodness sakes, this was really harsh from those two. I suppose they're very sour from the shift changes. I decided it's best if I duck into the office to keep myself out of the way for now. The emotions are high as it is, and unfortunately I don't think I helped the situation. I didn't make it worse, at least I don't think, but I didn't help it either. At least we got the emails today. After taking care of a chocolate cake I'd made, I returned to my office and hunkered down. Out of sight, out of mind. That's the best place for me right now. Besides, I know I've just been away out there. Popping open my laptop, I'm relieved to find an email from the owner. Looks like yesterday's pleas for help didn't go unanswered. A wave of relief rushes over me. Anything that will keep me busy and my mind off of the morning's events is more than welcome. Florida-san, you survived college. You'll survive this. I've owed more than a couple food chains in my day. Take it from me, cafes are the easiest places to manage, unless I get cockroaches. By the way, I hear about one cockroach in Girls Cafe. And you... Oh. I hear about... Okay, thanks. Make sure the food is good, the place is clean, and the workers are happy. The rest will follow. Well, isn't the email helpful? It's always encouraged to know my ass is getting handed to me the easiest difficulty setting on Dark Souls mode. I've attached a document with more details on your responsibilities. Just remember, this cafe is paying for my children's education. If it fails, then that bill will be in your lap. No pressure. Okay, that last line sounds ominous. Not to mention highly illegal. I'm going to forget that part for now and move on to the document that the good owner attached. Reading through the list of managerial duties that he sent, some of the responsibilities listed are about what one would expect. From counting the till and balancing checkbooks to detailing with customer problems and ordering inventory, the list was overwhelming to say the least. Fortunately, overwhelming is just what I needed. Some of the other duties listed, though, I wasn't as certain of. Dealing with online ad campaigns and responding to negative reviews should be the owner's responsibility, shouldn't it? Well, on an individual basis, I would say that would be your responsibility considering it's your cafe. Yet here they are on my list, plain as day. I spend a good portion of the day sifting through the email the owner sent to me. I organize the tasks by priority and frequency to determine which ones need tackling first, and which ones can wait. It's not a perfect nor a final plan, but it's better than nothing. A soft knock to my office door jerks my head from the computer screen. I thought the last thing these two wanted was to see me. Come in. A flare in the sand. A customer spilled their drink all over one of the tables. Can you come out and clean it? We're a bit busy. She hovers near the door, waiting for my response. I could say I'm a bit busy, but that would be a little bit, I don't know, on the negative side, considering we got off the wrong foot this morning. I'm on my way. I'm in no position to argue with Hayasaka, not only because of how our earlier conversation went, but also because janitorial duties are listed right here on the owner's email. So therefore, we are fulfilling our duties. If the other employees are too busy, assisting them with basic cleanup and operation is a managed must. Alright, I'll be right out. Hayasaka nods and closes the door behind her. I step out onto the floor, and just as Hayasaka had said, we're busy. We're probably close to half capacity, and the other two girls... the two girls are zipping back and forth between the kitchen and their respective tables. I watch Nancy for a moment as she brings out some parfaits to a couple guys with a big smile on her face. Here's your food, masters. Anything else I could do for you? Could I have a refill, please? Of course, master. Wait one moment. Nancy stops by a couple more tables, grabbing orders before heading back into the kitchen. She's consolidating her trips. Smart. Yeah, do as much as you can in one trip. Hayasaka is moving just as gracefully between tables. She sees me and points to one of the tables near the front door. Grabbing a bucket, I fill it with hot soapy water and a rag. Taking my supplies, I step over to the table to assess the damage. Coffee mixed with what used to be strawberry shortcake lays in puddles across wooden surface. And that's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it, and the reputation will go down if it is not done. As I work, I notice just how efficiently the two girls work together. If one is heading into the kitchen, the other is always on her way out. Each time they cross paths, a mere couple seconds of communication is all it takes for one to know what the other needs. I feel the more lower knowing that they must be putting up a front after this morning. I need to get my act together for these girls. I say to myself while washing the table clean, it's clearly not their fault the cafe is in this predicament, it's not mine either. But that's no excuse for me to cause them problems. The ding-a-ling of the door rings and I hear someone enter. Welcome, master. Welcome, master. Professional as always, both Nancy and Hayasaka greet the customer as they enter. With how close I am to the front door, I turn to greet our new guest as well. Well, hi there. You must be Hayasaka's sister. A girl enters the cafe, scanning the place. It doesn't look like she's searching for a table. There's plenty open. The look on her face reminds me of a raging bull trying to pick out its next target. Suddenly I wish this mess hadn't happened so close to the door. Her eyes lock with mine. Shoot, she's coming this way. My fight or flight instinct kicks in and I grab the empty chair next to me, both to keep me from running and to use as a weapon should I need it. As infuriated as she looks, she's also very beautiful. The girl wears knee-high boots and a crop top that shows off her little heart-shaped tattoo. Not to mention shorts with less coverage and most of my boxers, there's definitely a fashionista in her. And that hair. Is she related to Hayasaka? Hey, you! Yes? Why am I so scared? I'm a manager. You work here, right? I nod. I demand to see the manager now. I am the manager. I'm the manager. I'm pretty sure she could tame a lion with a voice like that. It's turning my knees into butter. Now the chair isn't a weapon yet, but a support to keep me on my feet. Still, I can't just run away. This is part of my job. Guess I better take one for the team. I'm a manager. How can I help you? The girl crosses her arms. She takes another look around the cafe. Like an inspector searching for a reason to shut the place down, she eyes every table, every chair, and with a level of disdain, I suddenly feel quite inadequate. So you're the one making this place a living hell? Excuse me? What are you referring to? What kind of dumpster did they drag you out of to work here? Excuse me? You heard me. I know all about you and how you're treating your workers. Excuse me? If you think I'm going to sit here and let you take advantage of these helpless girls, then you're as ugly as you are stupid. The sound of hushed voices catches my attention. One look around and I realize the other customers are listening in. You hear that? He's taking advantage of... Ugh! I hate fakeness like that. What is he doing to them? The poor girls. No, this is the last thing we need right now. I'm supposed to be reviving this cafe, not creating it into the abyss. I turn to the Gairu and see a smile forming over her lips. Would you mind stepping into my office, please? Of course not. I pull the unruly customer to the office and slam the door behind us. Who are you, and what do you want? I'm Hayasaka Kotori, Katie's sister. I'm here because whatever you're doing with this cafe, whatever you're doing to Katie, is destroying her. I've never seen her so depressed in my life, and none of that stuff started until you started working here. Hayasaka's sister? Depressed? I knew the schedule changes and the resulting pay cuts had upset the girls. I suppose drastic change to employment would worry anyone. The girls did mention something about the cafe being like a home to them. Is she upset with her hours? We need some adjustment to save money. I don't care what your excuse is, I care about my sister. She loves this place, she loves being here, I love seeing her here. This cafe would be naked without your sister. I'd never do anything to make her leave, I need her here. Kotori crossed her arms. I can tell she's not happy with me. If you really care, then you'll get your stuff together and do your damn job. None of this happened with the last manager, so get it together or get the hell out. Do I make myself clear? Crystal. Kotori stares at me for a few minutes. I gulp. Even though I'm the one in charge, I don't particularly feel like a leader. Unruly customers are one thing, but to deal with someone like Kotori is an entirely different ballgame. It seems we've definitely got ourselves off the wrong foot here. Seemingly satisfied, she lets herself out. Once I'm done, lets out a long breath of relief. That I'm alive. I take a few seconds to calm my nerves. I see Rimbo movies and how the protagonist goes up against dozens of killers with nothing but his guns and his pecs. Pretty sure even he would be quaking his boots at Hayasaka Kotori. Once I've gathered myself, I put my head out of the office to see if Kotori is still here. She is, but she's talking with her sister. The two are laughing and chatting like a couple of girls at a mall. The sight is nothing short of breathtaking. I told off that stupid manager of yours, sis. You have any more problems with him, let me know. Kotori-chan, you didn't need to go that far. Probably scared him half to death. Only half? The two share a hearty laugh, and I understand the ass chewing I just received. Families stick together, families look out for each other. That is very true indeed. You always look out for those who are very close to you. And all for the right reasons as well. That's all Hayasaka's sister was trying to do. I stepped over a line somewhere and had to pay the piper, so to speak. I just hit the mall with my girlfriend. It's not the new clothing store that opened. You have to see. Their French line just released new summer wear. It's adorable. Really? What about their summer dresses? Are they on display yet? Not till the weekend, but listen to this. I got some early bird peeks at the line. I wish I could see Hayasaka this happy every day. Things might be rough now, but there's no way I can allow that smile to ever leave her lips. And guess what? I spoke to my friend at the store. The manager in me wants to step out and remind Hayasaka she's on the clock, but getting this late into the workday, the customer flow is slowing down to a crawl. Even Nancy is easing up to a more relaxed pace. Besides, the smile on Nancy's face tells me she's just as happy to see Kotori as Hayasaka is. I've done some saving, and if we're up early, she'll let us have first dibs on the dress. Kotori-chan, you didn't have to do that. I notice other customers peeking up from their meals for a glimpse at the sweet sisterly hug between Hayasaka and her sister. The moment is warming everyone in the cafe. Everyone is smiling, and the two sisters are too caught up to notice. I know it's been a rough time for you, sis, but I'm here. I'll always be here for you. I know. And if that manager ever gives you grief, let me know. I'll punch his guts out. That's less than comforting. I'd say it ruins the moment, but Hayasaka's giggle convinces me otherwise. It's a bond that two clearly share. How they're willing to do anything for each other. That makes the threat of my life sound so sweet. He's really not that bad. He's just a little stupid. The two share a laugh at my expense. Well, at least it's just a laugh. I'll let it slide. The two sisters converse a bit more before Kotori finally takes her leave. For those last few hours, my mind keeps returning to that moment I got to witness. It's easy as a manager to pay more attention to numbers and performance, but it is the humans behind the work, yeah. The cafe is failing, and I need to course correct. But people depend on this place. People like Hayasaka and Nanase. I can't forget that. The last hour passes smoothly. With customers drifting in and out of the cafe, I decide to make myself useful and go to work cleaning off tables as the place begins to empty out. I was thinking of like just cutting the amount that they get each day by half, but that would go below the minimum wage probably per hour. I figure the girls are ready to get the hell out of Dodge, and after how I treated them, I don't blame them. Even the golden rays of the setting sun shimmering through the windows does nothing to alleviate the tension setting back into the air. With Nancy ducking into the kitchen for dishes and cleanup, Hayasaka is pulling down the promotional displays we had out for the day. I managed to finish cleaning up the tables and move on to the mopping, but closing duties pass without issue, though also in silence I find myself torn. I want to say something to the girls and make things right. On the other hand, I've already made such a mess of things. It's very conceivable that by opening my big mouth I'll do more damage than the chocolate cake did. I wish I was apologized to both options, really. But I guess that's just not going to cut the slack here. Apologize to Nancy. It wouldn't be right to leave without saying anything. It's one thing to be a goddamn manager. It's a whole different thing to be a goddamn person. I may be the former, but I refuse to be the latter of the two. Nancy was the most upset by what I said. At least she certainly was the most verbal. I wonder if maybe I struck a nerve with her. She took everything I said so personally. It felt like maybe there's something more to this than I realized. Whatever the case is, I can't sit around and mope about. Nancy deserves an apology. Yeah, this is like a family thing. They all see each other as family, and by dividing the family in a sort of a way, you can only really blame the source of that divide, us as the manager. While Hayasaka was putting down promotional displays outside, I stepped back into the kitchen. Nancy was washing dishes last I saw her. Walking into the back, I started looking around for the silver-haired girl. The dishes are washed, sparkling clean, and ready to be wiped and put away. Stove and countertops as well are all wiped down and ready for tomorrow. Not a stain or spot of dust to be found. Did she leave already? I reached the back of the kitchen before thinking she might be changing. If that's the case, I just head back out and wait for her. Returning to my office, I decided to review the email that the owner had sent me. Might as well make myself useful. Great. Checking my work, were you? Did I do a good job? I nearly jumped when Nancy's hand strikes the wall behind me and I let out a shriek. Ah! She smiles at my surprise, leaning closer, her hand pressed against the wall behind me, arm blocking my only exit as her face gets closer and closer to mine. Her pale blue eyes looking with my gaze, at mischievous grin spread across her smooth face. Did I scare you? Yes, you did. Should I apologize? Yes, you should. My face heats up. I can feel her breath against my skin with how close she is. God, but I try to find something, anything to focus my gaze on. It's far too intimidating to keep my focus on her, not to mention with how close Nancy is. I don't want to be caught staring at something I shouldn't. Apologize? No. I was actually looking for you, so I could apologize. Oh? You mean for this morning? You mean when you thought you'd grown a pair and tried bullying us girls into doing exactly what you wanted? No! That's not at all. Really? So you weren't trying to push us down and make us submit to your every little desire? No! For goodness sakes, I start to stutter the more she speaks. Nancy's face getting closer and closer to my own to the point where I can no longer keep her face in focus. Her other hand pressures against my chest as she leans to me. I try again to summon the words that'll set Nancy straight, but she doesn't let me. Shh, this is what you wanted, isn't it? Mr. Manager-san? No. Please, don't fire me. I'll do anything to keep my job. If that's what you want me to say. Of course, I wouldn't make you say that. Nancy opens her mouth and I close my eyes. I don't know if she's going to kiss me or what, but it's too much. I wait for her with bated breath, feeling her breath on my lips, sorry. I can almost taste the soft wetness of a maid's mouth. Crikey, her face must be just millimeters away from what I hear a thud from the other side of my office. What are you two doing? Yeah, I'm thinking this is really silly as well. Ayasaka is standing in the doorway. On the floor is her bag of belongings, her eyes bored into us, and I could suddenly hear the beats of my own heart amidst the silence. I'm frozen in place, looking over Nancy's shoulder. I can't even summon up a response to Hayasaka. Look, it's not what you think it is. I was just trying to go back to my work, do my emails, but then I got ambushed by the other girl. Or are you going to try and trap us in some ways? Nancy is far more casual. In fact, she doesn't even appear to care that Hayasaka has walked in on us. Nancy just gives a shrug of her shoulders as if to say whatever. Najiki, you can't just shrug this off. You and Farina-san were about to what? You're fantasizing again, Katie. I told you that's not work appropriate. Hayasaka takes a visible hit from Nancy's words. She looks even more upset than she did this morning. If I didn't know any better, I'd say she was on the verge of tears. I start to respond, but Hayasaka picks up her things and rushes out of the cafe. Nancy is quiet, and she even drops her hand on the wall. She stares at the empty doorway where Hayasaka has stood. Great! We're possibly not going to hear the end of this from our sister! The regret is written all over her face. That was harsh even for her. Hey, why don't you run after her? She really looks hurt. Nancy turns back to me and shakes her head. Her eyes dart over to the doorway one more time before she seems to fully come back from what just happened. It's fine. She'll get over it. Nancy says that, but I'm not sure she actually believes it. But it does appear to be more than just a friendly relationship between her and Hayasaka. Even when Hayasaka was in the doorway, it wasn't me she appeared upset with, but Nancy. Nancy-can, is there something going on with you and Hayasaka-san? Nancy laughs at the question and leans back in against me. Why? Are you interested in Hayasaka-san? I saw you looking at her. What? No, that's not it at all. Nancy bursts out into laughter. Maybe it was just my imagination. Maybe I'm just seeing things. After all, there's been no indication that Nancy even dates other boys. Same for Hayasaka. If you're not careful, you end up fantasizing just like Katie. Nancy can't help but laugh as she pulls away from me. She leaves me feeling stupid and very confused. Just what the hell was pushing me against the wall all about? If Hayasaka hadn't stepped in, who knows what would have happened? You're a weird one, Farina-san. It's been fun playing with you, but I better get going. I'm so stunned by what just happened. That's all I can do is nod and wave her off. Nancy laughs as she leaves to get changed. I'm too worked up and nervous to step out of my nerves as I hear the doors to the cafe close. Only when Nancy is gone do I finish tidy up. The busy work doesn't completely erase the evening's memories, but it helps. By the time I'm done and exhausted, I head straight home for a long night's sleep. Who's it gonna be tomorrow? Saturday, finally the easy part of the work has arrived. Well, oh yeah, was it Friday yesterday? With everyone everyone's working day, lovely. There are at least plenty of available hands for dealing with customers and cooking. Okie dokie, so did we skip a day or two? The girls look to be happier too, with all four working. Their spirits are up from seeing each other again. I need to get this place making money quick so we can return to normal. To do that though, I need to make some sense of these tasks the owner sent me. Since I don't need to be the acting janitor or on dish duty, I decided today would be a good opportunity to go through some of the online tasks that Jonas sent me. Let's see, I think he sent me a link to the website. I absent-mindedly tell myself while I open up my email. Sure enough, after some searching, I found the aforementioned link in the attached document. Oh, we don't have our own URL? Looks like the cafe is just using one of those blog hosting sites. And the free version of that, gosh, really things are tight. How disappointing. Well, I think I know what to expect with this. I click on the link and wait for the site to load. As it finishes loading, I let out a chuckle. Yep, just what I expected. No effort into the URL. No effort into the site. Well, it's time for you to step in and revitalize the website. And what the hell is this? It's like I'm looking at a race car. For more ads than actual content. Banner ads, bar ads. Oh look, a pop-up. What a mess. And what a waste. We're clearly not making any money off this garbage. Not to mention our number of visitors has to be near zero. I click around to see what other travesties I can come across. The About section is outdated. Nancy is the only one pictured who still works here. The other 3 aren't even present. Before I get too worked up, I grab a pad of pen and a paper and a pen. I'm getting so worked up I forget what words to say. Better start writing some of this stuff down so I know what needs changing. The whole thing needs changing. No wonder this business is going underwater. For goodness sakes, if the main advertisement that people can access to at any time, being the internet, is somehow as barren as Hayasaka and Nanasee's attitude towards me yesterday along with Hayasaka's sister, then for goodness sakes, no wonder things are troubling. But it's an opportunity for us. An opportunity to do a U-turn. I list out everything I've noticed and explore a bit more, apart from the ads. The site is about as barren as can be. Aside from the About page, the only other information is the outdated menu tucked away at the bottom. Also, the menu should not be at the bottom, it should be near the top so that people can easily access it. Once I'm satisfied with my notes, I look them over, we're in the red. But what are the odds the cafe has a few bucks set aside for digital upkeep? Only one way to find out. Grabbing the phone, I dial up the owner and wait until he picks up. Larry and Sam, what is it? I'm kind of in the middle of something here. I won't keep you long. I want to ask about the cafe website. I've been reviewing the manager document you sent me, and you mentioned dealing with our online presence. Ah, that's the easy stuff. Shouldn't that take more than 5 minutes to deal with? The site is very out of date. Almost no one pictured works here anymore. And we've got more than 4 things on the menu. When was this being written? One of the attempts I had at the time threw it together for us. Just something to get the cafe off the ground. I'll give you the login information so you can update whatever you want. That wasn't exactly what I wanted. What about revamping the whole thing? Any chance we could hire a developer and modernize it a bit? Just as I finish, I hear the owner laughing on the other end of the line. Not a hearty laugh, but a cold, sarcastic one. Are you kidding? Developers are expensive. You don't jump aboard a sinking ship to redecorate. I slump back in my chair, listen to the owner go off on me for being such an idiot. Honestly, if he's this disgusted with the place, why isn't it already closed? Probably some legal reason, or maybe he's waiting out the lease. I don't know. I hate that he's stringing everyone along here. Besides, there's nothing wrong with the site. There's nothing right with the site. But people don't make all their decisions based on how pretty websites are. That is so wrong. You need your first impression to be rocket launching, not rocket crashing. Just update the information and call it a day. Anything else and you'll have to figure it out. Fine then we'll have to figure it out. He doesn't even give me a chance to respond. He just dumps a load on me and hangs up. Great. Fortunately, he had the sense to email me the credentials and some basic instructions on how to log in before completely abandoning me. I'm no techie. I took maybe one computer course in college, and that was a level above the basics. What an a-hole. I stare at my monitor and finally log in. The interfaces for editing is fine. It's usable to where I can at least update the menu. Anything else is beyond me apart from the About page, but until I have pictures, there's not much to do there. Saving some basic changes, I exit and switch over to our social media page. More of the same it looks here, just as barren. Okay, enough of that crap. Throwing my hands in the air, I close the computer and decide to attend to anything but those digital disasters. Come in. We can hear you out there. Oh, fine. Sounds like you're going crazy. I let out an exasperated sigh, lean back into my chair. Crazy isn't too far off, really. And for goodness sakes, Hayasaka, your sour attitude yesterday was not helpful whatsoever. I'm sure if any actual web developer poked their head in on this, they'd have a stroke. Are you okay? It's nothing. It's just I've been looking at updating the cafe's website. The girl before me contorts her face with disgust as if she stumbled across a dead rat or something. I don't blame her there. That old thing? I hate to say it, but that website looks like it's swarming with viruses. I almost got sick just looking at it. I want a full-blown rewrite of the site, but that's not happening. Guess the basics will have to do for now. Ayasaka taps a finger against her chin in thought. Why not mention it to the girls after work? Maybe we can come up with something? You think so? That's a great idea. Would you mind letting the others know to hang around after work? Of course. Finally a smile, KD! Ayasaka gives me a bright smile. I feel bad for shouting, but at the same time, I'm glad I did. It means that we're not suffering alone. It allowed me to not only enjoy a bit of a company, but also help me formulate a plan on how to handle this internet stuff. Suppose if I need anything else, I'll just holler for you. Please don't. It was weird enough without you yelling my name. Sorry, what happened again? I offer her an apologetic smile and that satiates her. The warm smile returns to her face as she gives me a little wave. It's back to the customers for her. Chocolate's our little exchange. Hayasaka has that sharpness about her that makes the girl a delight to spend time with. Though I question the inspiration for some of her rambling, she manages to keep things exciting in ways I never thought possible. After a little chat, I suddenly feel a little better about the website. I'm not sure what kind of ideas the girls will come up with, but in all honesty, anything is better than what we've got now. Anything is better than a dumpster fire case with feline manure. The remainder of the day passes by quickly and quietly. It's a nice change of pace compared to the past few days. Definitely compared to yesterday. I managed to reorganize how we do inventory, and from the numbers I crunched, should shave off about 10% of the cafe's operating costs. As it turns out, one of our vendor offers bulk orders discounts, which for some reason we weren't taking advantage of. A few odds and ends later, and I'm feeling pretty good about my progress with the cafe. I actually feel like I'm becoming a bona fide manager, despite having the title for a while now. Finally, as the cafe closes for the day, I emerge from my little office like a bear waking from hibernation. The sun pouring in from the windows hurts the eyes and the cool, quiet atmosphere is a stark contrast from the dingy corner office I've been stuck in all day. There's something to be said about fresh air and sunshine doing the body good. Florina-san, we're just finishing up the closing duties. We'll be ready for a meeting shortly. Sina's the first girl I bump into when I step out of my office. She's got a bucket and mop at her side for cleaning. I was going to help, but if they're that far along with the closing duties, there might not be much left for me to do. Mopping up is usually one of the last items on the list. Sorry I didn't step out sooner. Anything I can help with? There's no need to apologize. I'm sure you've been very busy. The cafe emptied a little earlier than usual, so we started closing duties a bit early. I hope you don't mind. Of course not. You girls are out here on the floor. I trust you all to make the right decisions. They're all managers in their own ways, because they're all operating on an independent but yet dependent basis with one another. Seeing the others work hard here. That's been my main takeaway from splitting the girls up on different shifts. Even when there's only two, there's no slouching occurring whatsoever. Everyone is in sync. They want the place to succeed even more than I do. If you need to prepare, we should be done here shortly. Thanks, Sina-kan. I'll find a table and then just pop on over when you girls are ready. Finding a seat, I pull out a notepad and go through some of the things I'd written down. Not so much of a game plan as it is just a list of improvements. Not only for the website though, I'd like to also see our social media page get more traffic as well. There's so much hidden potential here. Exactly. Advertising is so important. Sina-kan's hard work giving people flyers out the front is only a small part of the battle in advertising. You need to be able to work it so that your advertising is accessible 24/7 with a website, and it can't happen with a shoddy website. I wonder if previous managers just ignored this site on the business. Yeah, because it would invest a bit of money in order to fix it. It's a short-term loss but a long-term benefit. I'll write down a couple more ideas that comes to mind. Just as I finish, so does the closing tasks. Sina's the first to step over, find herself a seat at the table with me. She takes a peek of my notepad. Do you have something in mind already? A few ideas, but nothing concrete. They're more like foam, but not concrete. Well, that's why we're all here, to help you out. I start to thank Sina when Ayase pulls up the chair next to her and sits down. Yeah, when it comes to the pairings, this pair was the polar opposite to the other two. Like, the previous day, that day was hard, but it does not feel like I was guilty. The day in which Hayasaka's sister came in, with the other two being sour, for goodness sakes, that was the most sour day we've had so far. Compared to work, this will be easy. Find a website you like and copy that. I wouldn't say, well, copy ideas, but not copy the site. I'm not sure if it will be that simple. No. Wouldn't we need a program or something more custom? Yeah, I guess so. But that's high school level stuff. It's not that high. It's not that hard. But I didn't learn how to build websites in high school. You didn't? Maybe it's just me then. Actually, that's a great tidbit that I've stumbled on. If Ayase knows how to code websites, then my job just got a whole lot easier. Really? You learned how to program in high school? Yeah, sure did. Took an elective for programming. So it was just an elective. You should have specified that at the beginning. Sorry, Sina. Still, a computer programmer. You might have just saved me, Ayase-san. Ayase leans back in her chair, stretching her hands behind her head confidently. That's me, old faithful at your service. And the other two show up. Well, at least they're not sour towards me from their looks at this given point in time. And reaches from behind and tugs on Ayase's chair, and he's tipping her over. The maid jumps up in a panic, thinking she'd leaned too far back. Maybe we should call you Old Full Fur instead. Come on, Ayase, you know how many times you've tipped over doing that? It was only that one time. Let's keep the conversation moving. Alright. Lesson learnt. Don't tip chairs. I think we've beaten that dead horse enough. Really? You're going to word it like that? Alright, not the most popular phrasing, but it's gotten everyone's attention. And Ayase-san seems relieved to no longer be the target of scrutiny here. Exactly, yeah. I'll count that as a win. Yes, I am. So how about the website? Ayase-san mentioned she knows how to program. That'll really help with revamping things. That's right. All I need is a cup of Java and I see what you mean, Java programming, and I can script just about anything. Oh, Ayase, I didn't know you'd like to drink coffee. I don't. Java is a different kind of cup. Silence. Didn't she just say something about drinking coffee and coding? Or did I miss something? Don't you know Java is a programming language? Gauging the looks from Sina and the others, or programming something, they're just as baffled as I am. Ayase's just as bewildered too. You don't get it. That was a joke? Oh, guess I'm the only coder here. Never mind. Ethereally, you're not the only one, Ayase. I'm here with you too. I know what you meant by a cup of Java. I decided not to ask and just move things along. Anyway, I'm thinking of getting rid of the ads and updating stuff like the menu and employee roster. We've got a coder, but I still don't have a clue what this thing is going to look like when it's done. I've got some artsy skills that might come in handy for this. Like, I could probably whip something up for you. Really? That's great. We could definitely use an artist to spice up the website. My sister is an illustrator. I bet she could help with it too. Your sister does not want wince with me, for goodness sakes, KD. We kind of started off on the wrong foot here. Ever been in a situation where you find yourself in a hole and only make it out by pure coincidence? I know next to nothing about computers, was laughed at by the owner for suggesting we hire a developer, and now look at me. I've got a programmer and an artist and an illustrator, assuming she doesn't kill me, all ready to see this little project to completion. I can almost cry, I'm so happy. If you think she wouldn't mind, I'd love to have her help. If it's a request from her big sister, no way she'll say no. Wonder what else your poor little sister's been forced into. That's a secret. Our sister never tells. Just let me know if your sister needs anything or if something comes up. Of course. I'm feeling really good about this now. I'm actually excited to see what our website is going to look like. Actually, in a way, this would be contrary towards what her sister was feeling towards us earlier, because if she's been given a task which will actually revitalize her sister's moods from the predicament that we set ourselves in, then that will work out as a win-win sort of thing, because it's a task that is really invigorating. This meeting went from a brainstorming session to a game plan really quick. Hey Florina-san, can I borrow your notepad? Sure, why? Duh, because I'd like to start designing. Yeah. Oh, right. I hand over my notepad and pen to Nancy. She immediately goes to work, sketching out some layouts for the website. Even though they're just basic sketches, I can see the skill behind the pen. Coming from someone who struggles to draw even a stick figure, Nancy has the touch of a professional. Hey! That stick figure is goddamn sexy, okay? I look around and see all of the girls watching her with the same level of interest. Everyone wants our new website to look good. And actually, in a way, because we're the manager that is confronting this issue, we're all actually happy about this. Everyone is chipping in ideas. From asking about menu layouts to something about carousel widgets from Ayase. I've suddenly found myself demoted to the back seat for this meeting. But you've still got to put in every asset. It's just that they're the ones who are creating the assets, but you've got to be able to implement. Oh yeah, it's IRC that's implementing the assets, for goodness sakes. But I'm fine with that. It's their website more than it is mine. Sina-can, everything alright? Sina, while participating in the conversation, looks to be more upset than anything with how things are going. I thought she, of all people, would have been excited to see the cafe's website get a makeover. I'm fine, it's just that I'm afraid I don't have anything I can help with. Of course you can help. I'm not a programmer. I'm not very good at art. There's nothing I can do. You can advertise to other people that the website is getting a revamp. If you're not doing anything technological, you can do something about the awareness of it. That's not true, Sina. You've always been helping us with everything. Yeah, whenever I've messed up, you've always been right there. This time, it's our turn to help out. And I don't know where I'd be without you, Sina-can. You're one of the hardest workers here. Everyone is a hard worker. Thank you so much, everyone. Yep, I'm just worrying too much. As the others cheer her up, Sina returns to her normal cheery self. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cause such a fuss. No worries, I'm glad you're here with us. That said, I really do feel useless like this. Nancy pretty much has the meeting under her control at this point. Every time someone tosses her an idea, she starts fiddling with her sketch to accommodate the suggestion. Despite her rough edges, she's really into this. I should do something for the girls, rather than just sit here. I should make myself useful, show my appreciation somehow for all the extra work. It's a Saturday night, the cafe is closed, but here they are working overtime for something that's not even their responsibility. Snacks. I'll prepare some... Okay, the last time we tried to prepare something for them well, mainly the other two, they just showed their sour faces by saying that it tastes like crap. It's the least they deserve. I prefer to pay them some overtime, but that's not happening, unfortunately. Putting out my wallet, I take out a few extra bucks to add to our tills, so I'm not just stealing from the company. Then getting to work, I pull together a tray of treats and some drinks that should hopefully satisfy the quartet of cuties out there. Once everything is prepared, I grab the tray and carry it back out of the kitchen. The girls are all huddled up around Nancy, pointing at different parts of her sketch and offering suggestions. I really wish I could snap a picture of the moment. Nancy is scribbling around over the paper, with a few torn out sheets scattered across the table. Maybe you could actually snap a photo of this moment. This is like the beginning of a better website, and this is one phase of it by just capturing this picture. They're so enthralled with what they're doing, they don't even notice me right away. It gives me the chance to sneak up on them with my tray of goodies. Alright girls, break time. Their heads all poke up from the paper they're huddled around. Verena-san, Are those all for us? That wasn't necessary. Speak for yourself, Sina-can. These are delicious. Well, at least he knows how to appreciate true talent when he sees it. I have a good laugh at the comments, setting Betray down in front of them. That's right, and you girls deserve all of this and more. So dig in. Consider it payment for all your effort with the website. Nancy eyes the trees, watching the others dig in. She flashes me a smile. Hey, Florina-san. Those aren't spite of anything, aren't they? Excuse me? Do you want this business to fall under? No way. Oh, rude Nancy-san. Florina-san would never do a thing like that. Just enjoy the treats. It's all on me. As for eating, I realized something like this would be perfect for our social media. Posting shots of the girls having fun and working to help drum up interest in the cafe, and what better way to kick off our internet revival than with a wonderful group shot. Hey everyone, mind posing for a quick picture? Is this for a website as well, Florina-san? Not quite, this will be for our social media page. We could start posting daily photos of you girls working, or just doing fun little activities. This seems like the perfect place to start. Our triumphant return begins! Ah, that's wonderful. Nancy, does it really hurt if you don't smile at all? I love the frames as well. I love the frames. H, would you... Okay, so once pressing H, you have to click with the mouse. Without any argument, before stand up and huddle around while I pull out my phone. We spent a couple minutes guiding everyone is the frames so they all fit without looking too squished. And Nancy is not doing her unique move that she did on us on our first day. Should we pose or something? Cena, you're the model. What should we do? What do we do? Maybe her model experience could be advantageous for our website success as well. The other three put their attention on Cena, who suddenly gets flustered from all the attention. Me? But this isn't a formal photo shoot, it's just... What about doing like a thumbs up or something? Or a V for victory? I sit back and let the girls hammer out what they want. This is their photo. I have no business in telling them what they can and cannot do. Unless of course they decide to violate the TOS, then we might have a problem. What about making a peace sign? Wouldn't that be cute? Yeah, exactly. Works for me. Let's do that then. It's all Cena's fault if this doesn't work. Hey! Trust your friend, okay? What? You can't be serious. Everyone smile. Ah, it seems that Nancy has finally smiled. Excellent. Cena fumbles a bit but pulls out a surprisingly confident yet stunning pose. Must be all that experience with modeling. I snap a picture as soon as the other three show off their peace signs to the camera. I snap a few more just in case the first one doesn't turn out well. Also blurs as well. You gotta be very careful with blurs. There we go. I think that does it. Thanks girls. I appreciate all of the hard work you've done today. After sharing the cute picture with the four of the girls, pack up their things, change out of their uniforms, and take off. Meanwhile, I make sure to get the best picture of a bunch uploaded to our social media page and posted with the tagline, Girls, 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 Cafe. Come join the fun. And tomorrow comes. I have to admit, I'm feeling good about myself today. It's Sunday, so all the girls will be working, meaning I get another day of managerial duties to focus on. I thought Fridays and Saturdays were the busiest of days, so therefore shouldn't they be the days in which all four come in while Sunday was the quieter day? The hurdles that flew up into my face yesterday are all but resolved. The website looks to be well under construction, and checking on our social media page, I see a flurry of likes and shares with a picture of everyone that I uploaded. There's really nothing like hitting the ground running. There's still some number crunching I can do to help drag down our expenses. After that, maybe I'll spend some time setting up online ads for the cafe. After yesterday's success, I ended up flipping through my phone before bed. With a little digging, I discovered that ad space on the website is far cheaper than constructing a billboard. Not to mention, it's far more effective with today's younger crowd. Yes, exactly, ad space. Checking the clock, with only 20 minutes away from opening, I've still got some time on my hands to poke around. Might as well get something done. Let's see. Suppose I could check out some other cafe sites. Maybe there's a popular trend we can get it on. Popping open my laptop, I start poking away at some internet searches. Every so often I hear some hustle and bustle outside my door. Must be the girls getting ready to open things up. Those four are so reliable. I really am lucky. Some businesses have a lazy, self-centered pain in the asses for employees. Thank God there's none of that here. The clock strikes 2:15 and I hear more voices out in the kitchen, probably just the girls chatting it up before we open. Speaking of which, I better get out there and take care of my opening duties. Good morning, you oh. Hold on, what's happened to all of them? I no more than step out of my office and I'm greeted by 3 of our 4 maids, Ayase, Hayasaka, and Sina. Flarina-san, it's Nanase. She's not here. What? Has anyone tried calling her? Maybe she's running late? I say that, but doubt it. Nanase of all people would never be late. I tried calling, and I texted her several times, but nothing. This isn't like her. Try again, Hayasaka-san. I'll go check on her. Hayasaka nods and pokes away at her phone. I return to my office to search through some files. I want Nanase's home address so I know where the hell I'm going. Fortunately, I'm able to locate our missing maid's file quickly. Pulling it out, I use my phone to snap a picture of her address. With everything ready, I'll hurry back out to the cafe. With any luck, Hayasaka would have gotten a hold of Nanase. Still nothing. Well, any luck? Hayasaka shakes her head. None. She's not picking up. Damn, what is going on? Alright, I'm going to check on her. I'll be back as soon as I can. Wait. I stop just as I grab the door handle and find Hayasaka standing behind me. She's got her hands clasped together over her chest, holding onto her phone. I'm going with you. Hayasaka-san. Najiki is... If something's happened, I want to be there. Let's trust her judgment. Let's not keep her away from her friend. Can the other two... Of course they can operate things from here. Look at them. They are more than prepared. Alright, let's go. I say to Hayasaka, I've noticed that of the 3, she's the closest to Nanase. If something had happened, Hayasaka may be the only one to help pull Nanase back together. I'm praying that won't be the case. Having Hayasaka by my side, though, I feel a little more prepared. I wonder if she was over-exhilarated by the website. Sina can. Sina jumps to attention when I mention her name. She's worried sick, and I don't blame her, but I need her right now. Make sure the cafe opens up on time. I will. We'll call as soon as we can. Ayase gives a nod. She's trembling, but does her best to hold it together. That helps to ease things up for me. If Sina had to open by herself, I'm not sure she'd make it. Sina's a bit more fragile than the other girls. She can lean on Ayase if she needs something. Flarina-san, let's go. Hayasaka is in a hurry. I don't blame her. I am too, but I've got to ensure that the other 2 can handle the cafe with 3 people missing. Sina can. You need anything? You call. I write down my cell phone number and hand it to her. She takes a slip of paper and presses it against her chest, nodding. Satisfied, I open the door for Hayasaka and we both exit the cafe. Fortunately, Hayasaka already knows where Nanase lives, which saves me from having to navigate through Akihabara. She also knows the route Nanase usually takes to work, so if something happened on the way, we'd have a chance of finding her. She's fast too. Speed walking. It's a struggle keeping pace with a lilac maid. She wastes 0 time, eyes always focused on the next light, ready to detour us at a moment's notice. With fewer stops, the better I take it. Has anything like this happened before? Hayasaki offers me a brief eye contact and then blinks her gaze back to the road ahead. No. Not that I've known her. She lets out a sigh when we're eventually forced to wait at a stoplight. I hear her curse under her breath as construction work prevents us from taking an alternative route. I decide to try and start up a conversation, but some things I generally like to know about the 2. But I also want Hayasaka to stay calm. Maybe some chit-chat will help her relax her a bit. You two start together at the cafe? No. She was there when I started. 4 years, I think. I know she was one of the original staff. That's impressive. I'm surprised she wasn't bumped to manager. Hayasaka lets out a sarcastic chuckle, a turn to comment, but our light changes and the maid is on the move again. I hurry to catch up to her, matching the girl's stride as we continue on our way. She didn't want a job like that. Gee, thanks. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Anyways, you're doing better than I thought you would, honestly. Oh, really? Because 2 days ago, you was literally scarring at us. But I would crash and burn, did you? Your words, not mine. If you say so, you have to admit, though, you were a bit of a dumpster fire. A smile, at least I pulled that from her. I try to laugh off her comment, but it stings all the same. I don't know if I was that bad, but I haven't been great either. Hopefully that's changing. Hee, we'll see about that. We both have a chuckle and silence falls back upon us. It's less awkward, but the tension is still there. It does help that there are fewer people wandering around the streets now. Then we left the busiest part of Akihabara. She's on this street. If we had a jump in our step before, those words just lit a fire under our butts. Hayasaka took off in a full run and I hit full speed just to try and keep up. Ayase may have been the athlete of the group, but Hayasaka was no slouch either. I barely kept pace with her and she spun out ahead of me once she hit the exterior stairwell to the apartment complex. Our feet pounded up a metal staircase until Hayasaka took a sharp turn on the right, or to the right. When I caught up with her, she already had her fist banging against the apartment door. Najiki, are you there? You have any idea what time it is? I reached down and pressed on the doorbell just in case I can hear the faint chime of the bells from inside, and so I gave it a few more presses. You better be in there. She's practically shouting, but no one is coming out. If Nancy isn't here, I can't wondering where she could be. Was there an emergency? Or something more nefarious? Hayasaka's pounding's getting louder and harder. She's getting desperate. I hear the doorbell one more time, but I'm convinced she's either not home or she's unresponsive, both of which have my heart pounding my chest. Then the door opens. What the What are you two doing here? What are we doing here? What are you doing here? With Nancy opening the door, there's bags under her eyes and she appears to have just woken up. What do you mean? What am I doing here? I live here. The three of us fall silent as Nancy finally realizes what's going on. It's like watching a literal light bulb turn on in her head. Her eyes light up with realization as to why we are here. Work? The word comes out as a whisper. Yes, work. You have any idea what time it is? Not to mention ignoring your phone. That's enough, Hayasaka. Hayasaka's upset, that's fair, we're both upset. I think we should hear Nancy out though. She's too hard of a worker to just ditch us like that. There's obviously something more to this whole situation. Alright, Hayasaka-san, that's enough. Nancy-can, what's going on? Is everything okay? Nancy scratches the back of her head, letting out a yawn. The longer we stand with her, the more I realize just how tired she is. Nancy looks like she could tip over any moment. She keeps reaching up to wipe away the sleep from her eyes. Yeah, I'm fine. Just spent all night working on the... Something at the back of my head just said to me that this was going to be the case. That's what you were doing? Nancy nods. All night? Did you get any sleep at all? Nancy takes a glance at her phone, flipping through it for a few moments. She eventually shrugs and puts it away. I don't know, 2, maybe 3 hours? You're an idiot! Why would you do that? We needed it done, didn't we? Well, yeah, but... So how far did you get? I figure... Oh, sorry, I'd rather figure than letting this boil into an argument. May as well ask what she'd accomplished. She's obviously put in more work into this site than I would have ever asked anyone to do in a single day's time. Nearly done. Just waiting on a few things from Katori-san and Ayase-san. In one night? Well, thank you, Nancy-can. The sooner the better with the site. You don't need to do it all like that, but thank you. Why didn't you take the day off? Nancy checks the time on her phone again and then shakes her head. I'll be fine, just let me get changed. You sure? Nancy nods and then disappears into her apartment. She's so stupid sometimes. At least it wasn't anything serious. Why don't you get a hold of Sina-can and let her know everything's alright? Hayasaki nods and pulls out her phone, poking away. I lean back and let out a long sigh of relief and a laugh. That was it. This stupid website strikes again. But I'm glad that Nancy is alright. I'm sure the other two will be as well. Yeah, but for goodness sake, you should not sacrifice sleep over it. As annoyed as Hayasaka's. Also, Ayase-san, why didn't you mention that you were working with Nancy with a website in the middle of the night? As annoyed as Hayasaki looks, she's definitely not a lot calmer, almost giving off motherly vibes with how she harped on Nancy for sleeping in like that. It was sweet to watch, actually. When Nancy does eventually come back out, she's cleaned herself up, but still looks exhausted. Hopefully the day won't be too rough on her. The three of us make our long walk back to the cafe, with me bringing up the rear so that Hayasaka will give Nancy another earful. I stay out of it this time and just laugh to myself. By the time we reach the cafe, everyone's calmed down and in better spirits. We're all here. We arrive back at the cafe and Nancy is met with hugs, smiles, and all manner of laughter. The whole day gets put on pause while Nancy is welcomed back. I can tell the customers have no idea what's going on, but the unexpected commotion manages to smile to everyone's faces. It's the first time I get to see Nancy this flustered over something. Usually she's the one in control of things. She's one not taking any crap, but today even Sina can't help herself with the situation. I'm really impressed, Nancy-can. You really took this whole website thing so seriously. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? I was going to wait until a day off to do the coding, honestly. Yeah, that IRC would be the logical thing to do. Wait until we only have 2 people here and then do the coding on your day off. Like, that would have been the smarter, logical thing to do. But Nancy-can's cracking the whip. Again. Ayase-san. Ayasaka makes a snappy motion with her wrist. She does her best to imitate the whip's crack, and the others have a good laugh. Nancy continues to be embarrassed by the whole situation. Of course, the girls are going to take advantage of this. It's so rare to see their big sister all worked up like this. It's really cute. I stay out of the whole discussion and make myself busy attending to the customers I can. None of them really seem to mind getting to watch the girls fuss over Nancy like that. I personally would have scheduled my time out with the project, but like always, you're quick on the draw, Nancy-can. Hayasaka-san. I was just really looking forward to it. That's all. We're all here, and thanks to you, we don't have to wait that much longer. Good, things seem to be settling down. I worked for a brief moment, but they'd pick up on her a little too much. The gentle ribbing is cute, but no need to upset her, especially after a long night. I'll get right on those scripts tonight. With a little luck, we'll have that baby up and running by tomorrow. And I'll text Katori-chan on my break. She said the specs were simple, so I'm sure she can meet Nancy Samos' strict deadline. I'm glad they're in italics, because that's the pronoun that she wouldn't have referred her by anyways. Is Sama like equal or something? Alright, girls. It was Chang equal. I finally make my way over to them after having addressed as many customers as I could. It's been amusing, but it's time for work. How about we get back to it? The customers are here for you, not me. What's wrong? Can't squeeze into the uniform? I'm the last person you want to see in one of those outfits. Whatever you say, Flarina-san. Hey, I like to think that I look very cute in a maid outfit. She laughs off my comment and heads into the back to get changed. The other girls go back to their stations and resume the work day. It's too perfect a day for me to stay cramped up in my office. I end up dragging my laptop out and find a booth to work in. I want to enjoy the sights and sounds of the girls moving through the cafe. After this morning's scare, I have a much greater appreciation for each of them. They all look out for one another. Watching Nancy serve her customers brings a smile to my face. She's happy here. I can see why the girls think of a cafe as their home. Exactly. It's their pride and joy, their little baby. Even with only a couple hours sleep, Nancy slides effortlessly between tables, delivering orders, collecting payments, and making idle chit-chat with the customers. They all work as hard as they can to keep this place alive. On my computer, I pull up our social media page and skim over a post from yesterday with our group shot. I type out a short post. No one cares more than a girls cafe maid, and press send. I poke around at some other smaller tasks, occasionally checking back on the post. Every time I look, the likes are up by several votes and replies slowly trickle in. Eventually, we even get some responses from people who were present for Nancy's little reunion. Even the customers care. Don't know what happened, but Nancy Can was welcomed back like royalty. Did I miss something? Every day I'm not at the cafe, I feel like I'm missing something. It's hard not to laugh with responses such as those. It's not just the girls that see this place as home, the customers too. There's a certain kinship the cafe offers people when they enter. I'm lucky to be a part of this. The day comes to a close as the last customer leaves and Cena is already pulling down some of the promotional displays outside. I catch Nancy cleaning up some tables and wander over to her. She still has that same smile that she had with the customers earlier. I don't say anything as I pull up my phone before she realizes I'm there. I snap a photo of her. Only after the flash goes does she turn to look at me. What was that for? Social media. I answer her with a smile. You're a weird one. Hey! If this gets likes, then you better thank me. I suppose you're the main avatar of the picture, but still, I'm the one who took the picture. Taking pictures of girls without their permission. I can't help but laugh. Please, Nancy Can I please take your photo for social media? She rolls her eyes and shakes her head. Do whatever you want. Thanks. I catch a sideways glance from her before she returns to work. Sorry, I think she's had enough teasing for one day. Better not poke the bear any further. The bear, for goodness sakes. Don't let her hear you say that. Retreating, or even think that really. Retreating back to my computer, I'll let the girls finish up their duties while I post the picture to our social media. I upload it with the title, Our Hardest Worker, and hit the send button. Leaning back, I'll watch as the likes and responses come trickling in. It's the perfect end to an eventful day, sorry. Exactly. I'm the only one with the keys to the website's well. Means of posting stuff. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Barely 2 days after speaking with the owner about revamping our website, and here it is done. I'm in awe. Gone are the incriminating ads of yesterday, and in their place a beautifully laid out website with updated menus, information, and pictures for everyone to see. Unless you're really 90 years old and you don't know how to work a computer. It's certainly not an expensive looking website, but the minimalistic design combined with the clever use of buttons and backgrounds give the theme a premium feel. Yes, you want your website to be accessible for people to use. Some people just create stupidly complex websites which have all sorts of different programming niches into it. I spent some time playing with the website. Apparently, Ayase stayed up late to get the scripts done. Not as late as Nancy, but the blondie definitely dragged her feet a bit walking in this morning. The end result, though, really shows. One of the scripts she wrote added sprites, one for each of the girls working here, doing a simple dance animation whenever the page needed to load. Ah, that is really cute. So when you load into the website, then it does an animation of one of them, all of them. That's cute. Those girls, this is amazing. Taking a look at the site's analytics, we acquired dozens of followers and shares. Our newsletter is gaining subscribers, and people are posting all over social media about our new online presence. To say I'm proud of the girls would be an understatement. This is above and beyond anything I ever could have expected from them. I need to think of something I could do to repay all this hard work. Honestly, I could spend all day admiring this website and browsing through our social media, but there is work to be done. Checking the time, the cafe has only been open for 2 hours. I can hear guests roaming in and out, along with the occasional chatter. Ayase and Sina are more than capable of handling themselves. Still, I make a note to check on them, just in case they need anything. A few more minutes pass and the level of chatter has increased, not by any small amount either. While muffled, I can clearly hear someone nearly shouting from the dining area. Shouting? What the hell? If I'm way back here and I can hear that, then I can imagine what the customers and the girls are going through. With a sigh, I drag myself out of the office. Hopefully not another belligerent customer. Thanks, Hayasaka's sister. Who are you? I suppose we will find out in due course in the next episode. For another beautifully cute crossdresser. Indeed. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this game, and if this game reaches 30,000 sold copies, then we will all be able to get the wonderful beach episode DDLC that... Sorry, not DDLC. We're going to say that's something else entirely. DLC that we all would want to have, but also quality of life updates and additional outfits for all of them. So folks, hope you enjoyed this episode. The beginning of the episode was a little bit sour with the situation we had at hand, and Hayasaka's sister did not help one iota. But regardless, if we also reach 30,500 copies sold, then you'll be able to see me in the game as a maid. That's a joke, by the way. Thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next time of Girls, Girls, Girls. Have a lovely day and take care of yourselves, individuals. Maids also. Individuals are maids. You are maids and you are important.